lot of cards and getting a lot of names. You know, we would rather have 10 good people than 100 tie tickets, as we say.
So you're moving towards exclusivity, yeah, then?
Sorry?
You're moving towards exclusive?
Yeah, I guess, in a way. I mean, obviously we want people to experience both, but we don't want to have just free flow of people walking on, walking off without being escorted, without giving them the proper information, finding out if they're serious and if they'd like to go further. And if they would like to discuss things further, then we've got enough staff this year to actually sit down with someone and spend 2 or 3 or 4 hours with them to maybe tell them about it.
So how are you restricting the flow again?
Well, we've got, you can see how we've now got big arch and a reception counter, so everyone will have to register before they come onto the boat. So it's not about restricting, it's about crowd control, I guess. Yeah.
So what kind of sales targets do you have in mind for
the show?
For the show, yeah.
Well, we don't actually have targets for the show. We have our annual targets, and
what are your annual targets? How do they compare to last year?
Oh, they'll be higher than last year. We don't know what they are yet. They haven't been, we're waiting for them to come down.
Because our financial year ends in March.
Yeah, so we're really just over 1 month into our new.
So
6 weeks into the
so
new
yesterday's sale, how much did you close for that particular model?
The price?
Yeah.
It was above €500,000. Yeah, it was a very well spec'd up boat. Yeah, I mean the boat starts at €430,000. No, sorry. That was something else. Yeah, in the high 300s, I think, about 350, 370 base, and he put a lot of options on it, and then the freight to get it here and such, it's going to be sort of, I think it's about 520 or, yeah.
So if a Singapore would purchase a boat from you, I mean a young Singapore who is coming from the middle class and he's got his first job as a lawyer of some sort, you know, is he able to afford a reasonable classy boat from Simpson?
Absolutely. We've got a Sea 280 brand new, came off the ship 2 weeks ago. Fantastic, got an enclosed toilet cabin, plenty of space, inboard motor, and that is 115,000 Singapore dollars, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Really nice. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So Simpson Marine, are you going to persuade the government to provide boat financing?
Well, it's not the government. I don't think the government has any obstacles. It's the actual bank themselves. Look, I do, in the time I've been in Singapore, I do notice that the institutions here, whether it's insurance or finance or the governments as well, they tend to do things the way they've always done them, and they tick the boxes. They like to tick the boxes. And if it fits in the mould, no problem. As soon as there's something slightly outside of the mould, it doesn't. It takes a lot of education. So that's what we're working with. And look, it's not just us. There's a lot of people discussing with.
Do you think that Singapore will in the future, because now boat is very popular?
Yeah.
Do you think that Singapore being such a small island, and do you think that in the future there will not be enough mariners to berth the boats? And do you think what will happen to Singapore?
No, as I was saying to Robin, I think because the government here is quite supportive, I see there will come a time when it's tight and that pushes prices up, of course, but that happens everywhere, and there's enough developers like the owner of Keppel here who want to build waterfront developments, same as 116. They desperately working with the Economic Development Board to get more land grants and more land to build developments and marinas. So you'll get squeezed, but I don't think we'll end up like Hong Kong, where the government thinks if you build marinas, you're pandering to the rich. You know, and the government can't be seen to, well, marinas are only for the wealthy. What about everyone else? Singapore has seen the economic benefits of marinas, and so is Indonesia as well, seeing that now. You know, it's not just for the rich, it brings a whole social thing. You have restaurants and cafes and shops. You've got employment for a whole lot of people. The knock-on effect of boating is huge. Support services. And you know what? Boat ownership must be the most incredible wealth distribution way there ever is. If you want to transfer money from the rich to the worker, to the, let's say, the middle class or not so rich, owning a boat is a great way to do it. Buying a boat, it costs a lot of money, and that money flows to the services, the mechanics, the engineers, the detailers, people like us. We employ people. It's wealth distribution, definitely.
And Paul, do you have which is your biggest boat that you have, or do you have any boat that can allow the helicopter to land in?
Well, we sell them. We can find you one if you'd like to. If you'd like to buy one, Angus, that's no problem at all.
Do you make one, or do you?
No, we don't. I mean, boats like that are custom built. So yeah, we work with different shipyards around the world. Yeah, but we do. If you look at, we have a display here for our 65-meter custom yacht, which has been sold in China. That's a 65-meter, which is 215 feet, I think. That will have a heli deck on it, definitely. Yeah.
So talk about China. I believe down the China market are also getting more and more people buying.
I believe so. I don't really have anything to do with the Chinese side of Simpson Marine, but I know they've had a lot of huge amounts of success.
Well, the 8 boats, could you just give me the cheapest one and the most expensive one here?
Okay, the cheapest would be our little Sea Ray 185, which you can buy now for $18,000 US.
$18,000 US.
$18,000 US. Wow. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, so we've got 2 available. You can have one each if you like. Yeah.
How many feet is that?
18 and a half. 18 and a half long. Yeah, it's a great little boat. I just came over on it from 115 to here last night. Great little speedboat. Okay. Most expensive would be actually it would either be this, the Goon 620, or the Azimuth 58 would be quite. Actually, I think the 58 now would be more expensive. Okay. Yeah, because there's been a price rise. That would be about 1.8 million euro. Yeah.
What is the figure? Sorry.
1.8. Say 1.7 actually. 1.7 million euro. Yeah. Azimuth 58. Yeah.
How many of them going? How many available?
Well, these are sold. These are actually privately owned boats.
Oh, really?
But we can get you as many as you want from Italy. Yeah.
So what is the biggest boat that you have custom made for custom, and how much is that?
Our biggest new build is probably this 65-meter right now. We've sold bigger boats. We've sold second-hand bigger boats, well over 200, or more than 200.
Doing custom made, right?
No, second-hand means existing. We've sold bigger boats. I have to find out exactly what the biggest one was we've sold. It would have been done through Hong Kong. But I believe the 65-meter, it's actually going to be close to 70-meter, will be our largest brand new construction. Yeah, and that'll be a European shipyard.
Yeah. This is under custom made by customers, or is it really from the?
Yeah, it'll be custom made. We start with a blank sheet of paper, and this is what's so great when you build a custom. When you've got enough money to have anything you want, you can sit there with a blank sheet of paper, and you can just write out your dreams of what you want. Okay, I want helicopter pads. No, I want 2 helicopter pads. I want swimming pool, maybe an indoor swimming pool and an outside swimming pool. I want 4 decks. I want to be able to do 25 knots, and I want to be able to cruise at 18 knots. Whatever they think of, because usually people they have a little bit of experience in boats, and we help them. We go through what can be done, and all these dreams can be put down. Then we go and sit down with a designer, and we talk about how can we convert that wish list into reality. And the designer will come up with all different concepts, looking at different pictures, different boats, different ideas, and the designer will come up with various concepts, just like building a house. And the owner will say, well, I like that, but maybe I prefer the front of that boat, and maybe you can do this, and maybe you can do that, and then the designer will rework it. This is an ongoing process. It takes a lot of work. Once all that's done, then we work out all the specifications, the detail, the engine, the plumbing, the electric, the sewerage, the crew, it's all got to be built to class certification. All these details have to be worked out by naval architect and designer. Then once all that's done, we come up with basically a working plan. Then we go to usually out to tender. Unless the owner says, I want to work with this shipyard, some do have a preferred shipyard in mind, we will go out to various shipyards around the world, and then they will bid or they'll tender for that process, and then it goes back to the owner. You know? We've got these prices from the German shipyards, you know? We've got these prices from the Asian shipyards, these ones from the New Zealand or Australian shipyards. And they're all different. They've all got, obviously the Northern European yards are much more expensive than an Asian yard. But you're going to get a lot more build quality there than you will from an Asian yard. So the owner decides all this, and then the build starts.
So some of that, is there a limit whereby how big a private ship a yacht can be? Or it depends on how much you have or
bigger and bigger, yeah. I mean, the largest yacht in the world is it's changing by the day. You probably know better. I mean, I think it's probably Roman Abramovich, the Russian guy. I think he's well over close to 380 feet, close to 400 feet now.
So there's no limit on how big a private yacht can be?
Well, they're turning their ships now. They're turning ships. In fact, that might have been outdone now by the new Dubai, which is for Saudi Arabia. Saudi, I think Dubai might actually be the biggest now. It's been recently launched.
I think so. 600 feet.
600 feet, is that big?
Yeah.
They're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So there's a bit of one-upmanship. Yeah.
More than a ship and a yacht.
So now probably Abramovich is probably saying he's as big as I am. He'll want to build a big one. But as I said, it is the amount of people those projects employ is phenomenal. And then once they hit the water, they've got 40, 50 crew on board. And then, the services, they pull into a marina and any marina they'll spend millions of dollars on berthing and provisioning. Now what that does for an economy is really, really tremendous. It's not just for the wealthy. Oh, it is just for the wealthy, but the money flows out very quickly. Magazines and media, it's fantastic. We hope so. We really hope so. We never know. As I said, there's a lot more competition at the moment than in previous years, and I think we're going to feel that.